Welcome to BBC Rare Coins, the ultimate channel for coin enthusiasts, collectors, and treasure hunters alike. If you've ever wondered what's hidden inside your pocket change or dreamed of finding a rare, valuable coin, you've come to the right place. Top 1. The 2009 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, holds a special place in numismatic history. Minted to commemorate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, this series introduced 4 distinct reverse designs, each representing a significant phase in Lincoln's life. These designs are the U.S. Sun plus 4 coins value plus 4 coin identifier.com plus 4 birth and early childhood, depicting a log cabin, symbolizing Lincoln's humble beginnings in Kentucky formative years, illustrating a young Lincoln reading a book while taking a break from rail splitting in Indiana, professional life, showcasing Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol, representing his career as a lawyer and politician in Illinois presidency, featuring the U.S. Capitol dome under construction. Symbolizing the nation's growth during Lincoln's presidency, Benzinga plus 1 coin value lookup.com plus 1. These design variations were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with each mint producing different quantities and types of strikes. The coins were released in 3-month intervals throughout 2009, with each design being available for a limited time. Coinvaluechecker.com plus 3 coins and collections plus 3 coins value plus 3 Benzinga mintage and composition. The 2009 Lincoln pennies were produced in the following quantities: Benzinga Philadelphia mint, birth and early childhood, 284, 400, 000 formative years, 376, 000 professional life, 316, 000 presidency, 129, 600, 000 coin value lookup.com plus 1 coins and collections plus 1 coins and collections. Denver mint of birth and early childhood, 350, 400, 000 formative years, 363, 600, 000 professional life, 336, 000 presidency, 198, 000 coins and collections plus 1 coin value lookup.com plus 1 San Francisco mint of proof coins were minted in smaller quantities, with approximately 2,995,615 of each design produced. Coinvaluelookup.com plus 2 coins value plus 2 coins and collections plus 2. The composition of these pennies is 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, consistent with the standard for U.S. pennies since 1982. Coins and collections plus 2. The U.S. Sun plus 2 coins value plus 2 design details. Each of the 4 reverse designs was crafted to reflect a pivotal moment in Abraham Lincoln's life, birth and early childhood. The log cabin design symbolizes Lincoln's humble beginnings in Kentucky formative years. This design features a young Lincoln reading a book while taking a break from rail splitting in Indiana, highlighting his commitment to self-education and professional life. Depicting Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol, this design represents his career as a lawyer and politician in Illinois presidency. The final design showcases the U.S. Capitol dome under construction, symbolizing the nation's growth during Lincoln's presidency. Coinidentifier.com plus 4 Benzinga plus 4 coin value lookup.com plus 4. These designs were created by various artists and sculpted by different engravers, each bringing their unique perspective to the coin's imagery. Benzinga grading and value. The value of a 2009 Lincoln penny can vary significantly based on its condition, mint mark, and any unique characteristics or errors. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. Here's a general overview. Circulation strikes. These coins were released into general circulation and are typically found in lower grades. However, higher grade examples, MS65 and above, can command premium prices. Satin finish coins, minted for inclusion in uncirculated coin sets. These coins have a special finish and are generally more valuable than standard circulation strikes. Proof coins, produced for collectors. Proof coins have a mirror-like finish and are struck multiple times to ensure sharp details. These are often the most valuable, especially in higher grades. Coinvaluechecker.com plus 2 coins value plus 2 coins and collections plus 2. For example, a 2009 formative years penny in MS67 grade can be worth several $100s, while a satin finish coin in the same grade might fetch a higher price due to its limited mintage. Coins and collections +2 sell rare coins +2 eBay +2 error coins. Error coins are those that have been mistakenly produced during the minting process, resulting in unique characteristics that make them valuable to collectors. Some notable errors found in 2009 Lincoln pennies include coinvaluelookup.com +2 coins and collections +2 coins value +2 double die reverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, creating a doubled image. In the 2009 pennies, this is most commonly found on the formative years design die cracks. These appear when there are cracks in the die, leading to raised lines on the coin's surface. Off-center strikes. These occur when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in an off-center design. Sell rare coins +1 eBay +1 coins exhibiting these errors can be worth significantly more than their standard counterparts, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Collecting tips for those interested in collecting 2009 Lincoln pennies. Consider the following tips. Complete sets. Aim to collect all 4 designs from each mint: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. To have a complete set. High grades. Focus on obtaining coins in higher grades, MS65 and above, to maximize their value. Error coins. Keep an eye out for error coins, as these can be particularly valuable. Storage. Store your coins properly to maintain their condition. Use acid-free holders and avoid touching the coins with bare hands. Coinvaluelookup.com +3 coins value +3 coins and collections +3. By following these tips and staying informed about the market, collectors can build a valuable and historically significant collection of 2009 Lincoln pennies. Top 2. There's something incredible about the things we overlook. A dusty book on a shelf. A photo in a forgotten drawer. Or a penny, small, brown, dull, tossed aside, dropped into a jar, handed off with little thought. We pass them every day. We step over them on sidewalks. We toss them into tip jars without a second glance, but sometimes, what looks worthless, holds a secret. In 2019, a coin that had been lost in the noise of everyday life emerged from obscurity. It was a 1983 Lincoln cent. 1 penny. Just one. And it sold for $163,800. It was the penny that changed everything, not because it was gold. Not because it was covered in diamonds. Not because it was centuries old. No. This penny looked exactly like every other one. It had no special mark. No unusual design. But it had a secret buried deep in its core, literally. To understand this coin, we have to go back. 1982. The turning point. For decades, pennies were made from 95% copper. They were heavy, solid, dependable. But copper prices were climbing fast. In fact, by the early 1980s, the cost to make a single penny in copper was more than 1 cent. That's not just inefficient, that's financial madness. So the US Mint did what it had to do. It changed the formula. Starting in 1982, pennies were no longer made of solid copper. Instead, they were made from zinc, with a thin copper plating. You wouldn't notice the difference at first glance. But hold them in your hand, and weigh them, and everything changes. The old copper pennies weighed 3.1 grams, the new zinc pennies just 2.5 grams. It was a quiet revolution in coinage. A change most Americans never noticed. But it set the stage for one of the rarest and most expensive errors in US Mint history. 1983. The error no one saw coming. By 1983, all pennies should have been zinc-based. The copper era was officially over. But somewhere in a US Mint facility, possibly in Philadelphia, something was overlooked. A few copper planchets, left over from 1982, remained hidden. They weren't supposed to be there. But they were. And when the minting machines were fired up to produce 1983 pennies, those copper planchets slipped in undetected. It happened fast. A few seconds. A few strikes. Then they were gone. Lost among millions of others, and for years, no one knew the discovery. Sometime in the 2000s, a collector was sorting through pennies. Like many hobbyists, they were looking for interesting dates, errors, oddities. Maybe they'd find a double die. Maybe a misprint. Nothing too major. Then they found it. A 1983 penny. Clean. Sharp. Ordinary. Until they placed it on a scale 0.3.1 grams. It shouldn't have been possible. A 1983 penny should only weigh 2.5 grams. This wasn't a misread. It wasn't a bad scale. It wasn't dirt or debris. This penny was solid copper. The collector knew they had something special. They sent it to PCGS, the professional coin grading service, one of the most trusted coin grading organizations in the world. They tested it. Verified it. Certified it. 1983 Lincoln cent struck on copper planchet. MS65 red, mint state 65 means the coin is in nearly perfect condition. Red refers to its natural copper color, preserved without dark spots or discoloration. A coin like this. It's the dream of every collector. The auction the coin went to auction. Experts estimated it would do well. Maybe tens of thousands. It was rare, after all. But no one could have predicted the frenzy. The bids rolled in. Fast. Furious, and when the hammer dropped, $163,800 for a penny. Why so valuable? Rarity is the foundation of coin value. But rarity alone isn't enough. A coin must also have a story. This one had both: historical significance, a rare error caused by one of the most important changes in modern US coinage, unexpected survival. It wasn't supposed to exist. Copper planchets should have been gone, mint condition. MS65 red is almost unheard of in circulation coins from this era. Weight-based identification, it takes a precise eye and a precise scale to notice. Most are overlooked. How many are out there? We don't know. A handful. Maybe 10. Maybe less. 2 have been officially verified. Others may be waiting, undiscovered, forgotten, mistaken for something ordinary. That's what makes this story so compelling. The 1983 copper penny isn't locked in a museum. It's not sealed in a vault. It might be sitting at the bottom of a change jar. In your attic. Your glove box. Your pocket. How to check your pennies? Think you might have one. Here's what you do: find a 1983 penny.no mint mark. That's fine. It could be from Philadelphia. Weigh it. Use a precise digital scale. If it weighs 3.1 grams, you may have a copper version. Get it authenticated. Don't try to sell it on your own. Contact a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Don't clean it. Cleaning coins ruins their value. Leave it as is. A penny worth a fortune. The most incredible part of this story. It's still unfolding every day. Thousands of pennies are exchanged, spent, ignored. And hidden among them may be another copper 1983 cent, just waiting to be found. It's not just a coin. It's history. An accident. A miracle. A $163,800 secret hiding in plain sight. And the next one could be yours. Look closely, weigh everything. Never underestimate a penny, because sometimes the smallest things change everything. Top 3. Sometimes history hides in plain sight. Sometimes it's sitting in a dusty jar on a kitchen shelf. Sometimes it's disguised as something so ordinary you wouldn't think twice about tossing it aside. But once in a while, that ordinary thing turns out to be anything but. This is the story of a coin that fooled everyone. A coin that sold for $156,500. A coin that started life as a common 1984 US penny and became one of the most valuable 1-cent pieces ever discovered. The mystery begins with a tiny mistake. The year was 1984. The US Mint was pressing millions of pennies each day. To most Americans, it was business as usual: copper-coated coins hitting pockets, cash registers, and coffee counters across the country. But on one fateful day at the Philadelphia Mint, something went wrong, very wrong. In one quick moment, a small mistake in the die engraving process created a design flaw, so subtle that even mint workers didn't notice. But for those who would come to know its true rarity, it became one of the most sought-after coins in modern American history. That error, a double ear. What's a double ear Lincoln penny? It sounds strange, almost funny. But it's real. On some 1984 Lincoln cent struck in Philadelphia, an abnormality appears near Abraham Lincoln's ear. Instead of one clean ear detail, there's a shadowy second earlobe, the result of a doubled die, an error that happens during the creation of the coin's HUB.to the untrained eye. It might look like wear or a small design quirk. But to collectors, it's a golden ticket. Only a few of these 1984 double-ear cents were ever discovered. Most people spent them without ever knowing. But when one surfaced in pristine condition, certified as a true double-die variety, it didn't just raise eyebrows, it made history. From pocket change to $156, 501 1984 double-die cent, discovered in nearly flawless mint-state red condition, was submitted to the Professional Coin Grading Service, a PCGS. Graded at MS67 red, it was labeled one of the finest known examples of the rare error. Then came the auction.at first. Some expected it to fetch a few thousand, maybe 10 or 15, if the right buyer showed up. But this coin had something special. The double die was prominent and clear. The color was vibrant, unblemished coppery red. The surface nearly perfect, and when the bidding started, it didn't take long for sparks to fly. The final hammer dropped at $156, 500.1 cent. One mistake, 0.1 fortune. Could you be holding the next $156,500 penny? That's the beauty of the 1984 double-ear Lincoln cent.it. Looks normal.it, feels normal.it, spends like any other penny, but it isn't. So here's what to look for. Date, 1984. No mint mark. This means it was struck in Philadelphia. Lincoln's ear. Look closely. You'll see a faint second earlobe just behind the first. Color, brilliant red. Even better, the brighter and more original the coin, the more it's worth. Condition. No scratches, no fingerprints, a clean, strong strike. If you think you found one, do not clean it. That will destroy its value. Instead, send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. Let the experts confirm what you have, because if it's the real deal, you're not holding a penny. You're holding a treasure. The thrill of the hunt. Every coin collector knows the feeling, flipping through rows of cents, watching for that rare shimmer of something special. It's a hobby built on patience, passion, and possibility. But the 1984 double-ear cent changed everything. It proved that life-changing finds don't always come from ancient history or gold bullion. Sometimes, they come from the most overlooked places, like the little brown coin in your change cup. And with fewer than a dozen high-grade examples known, the odds may be slim, but the reward, it's already been proven. $156,500. Top 4. It starts the same way every time. An old coin jar. A drawer in the kitchen. A shoebox in the attic. Inside, dozens, maybe hundreds of pennies. All brown, all forgotten, until one of them changes everything. 0.1 cent, dated 1988. And worth $168,500. You're about to discover one of the most shocking stories in modern coin collecting, about a tiny error, a big payday, and a coin that might still be hiding in someone's loose change. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Ordinary. The 1988 Lincoln Memorial cent. Millions were made. Stamped in Philadelphia, Denver, and even for sets from San Francisco. To most people, the 1988 penny is just another coin. But for collectors, a few of them, just a handful, are the rarest of the rare. Why? Because of a mistake no one was supposed to notice. Chapter 2. The reverse that shouldn't be. Let's talk about the back of the penny, the reverse. In 1988, the US Mint used a new reverse design with updated engraving. But somehow, in Philadelphia, a few 1988 cents were struck using an old reverse die, the one meant for coins minted in 1987. How can you tell? On the reverse of most 1988 pennies, look closely at the letters FG, the initials of designer Frank Gasparo, just below the Lincoln Memorial. If the initials are crisp and close to the building, it's the correct version, but in rare error coins, the FG is faint and farther away, matching the 1987 design. That tiny detail, that's the error. That's the difference between 1 cent and $168,500. Chapter 3. A hidden giant emerges. It wasn't until years later that collectors realized something was off. The wrong reverse die had been used on a few 1988 pennies, likely during a rush changeover at the Philadelphia Mint. No one caught it at the time. Why would they? But when one coin was discovered in pristine MS68 red condition, untouched, perfectly preserved, the numismatic world lit up. Collectors rushed to check their change. YouTubers made videos. Reddit exploded, the coin went to auction. And when the final bid hit, $168,500. That's not a rumor. That's a real number. For a real penny, Chapter 4, How to Spot the $168,500 penny. Think you might have one. Here's what to do: check the date, it must be 1988. Look at the mint mark, no mint mark. That's Philadelphia, where the error occurred. Flip to the reverse, examine the letters FG under the memorial. If they're weak and push far right, it might be the wrong reverse. Weigh it, should be around 2.5 grams. Condition matters: bright red color, no scratches, sharp strike. Jackpot important, do not clean the coin. Ever. That will destroy its value. If your coin checks out, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading and authentication. They'll confirm if you've struck gold, well, copper. Chapter 5, Why this penny is so valuable. It all comes down to three things: rarity. Only a few of these error pennies are known to exist. Condition. High-grade examples, especially red coins with no toning or wear, are almost unheard of. Error type. Wrong design, dice being used in the wrong year. That's a major minting mistake. In the coin world, rarity plus error plus condition equals money. Serious money. Chapter 6, The Viral Effect. The story of the 1988 reverse error penny spread like wildfire. TikTok videos, coin collector forums, national news, everyday people started looking through their change. Pawn shops got flooded. eBay listings skyrocketed. It became more than a coin. It became a symbol, proof that the overlooked can become legendary. Chapter 7, Could you be next? Here's what's crazy: experts believe there may still be a few 1988 reverse error pennies out there, not in museums, not locked in a vault, but in a desk drawer. A shoebox. A forgotten change jar, maybe even in your pocket. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to look. To know what to look for, and to never underestimate the value of what seems worthless, because sometimes a penny is worth $168,500. Final word: the 1988 reverse design error penny isn't just a coin. It's a moment frozen in metal. A silent mistake from a minting machine that created a modern treasure. Most people passed it without a second thought, but someone saw it, someone believed, and someone cashed in. So next time you get a handful of change, don't throw it in the jar. Don't drop it in the couch cushions. Check every 1988 penny, because one of them is a masterpiece in disguise, and it's just waiting to be found, and it might just be worth $168,500. Top 5. Every day, we walk past pennies. We drop them into vending machines. We leave them in trays at gas stations. We ignore them. But in 1991, the US Mint accidentally created one of the rarest modern coins in American history. It looked like every other penny: same brown copper tone, same Abraham Lincoln profile, same tiny 1 cent on the back, and yet one of them sold for $159,300. Yes, you read that right. Point 1 penny. Point 1 mistake. Point 1 collector's dream. Chapter 1, The Year It All Changed. The Gulf War had just begun. Michael Jordan was on his way to his first NBA championship. Grunge was hitting the airwaves, and at the US Mint, millions of pennies were being pressed. Business as usual. But amidst the chaos of machinery and metal, something slipped through. A mistake, a small, barely visible, but for the trained eye, worth more than a sports car. Chapter 2, The Elusive 1991 Declosed AM penny. Let's talk about design. On the back of every penny is the Lincoln Memorial and the phrase, United States of America. Below that, the denomination, 1 cent. And just above it, the minting stamp, E pluribus unum. Now here's the kicker: on most 1991 pennies, those minted in Denver, the letters A and M in America are spaced wide apart. This is normal, but a tiny handful were struck using a reverse die intended for proof coins, coins meant only for collectors. Those dies had a close AM design, where the A and M nearly touched. That's the difference. That's the $159,300 difference. Chapter 3, From Error to Auction. The moment a sharp-eyed collector noticed the tight spacing on a regular 1991 penny, the investigation began. The weight was correct, 2.5 grams, the color, a brilliant red, flawless copper plating, and the strike, clean, perfect. Mint State Quality.it was authenticated by PCGS as a 1991 D-Close AM variety, the first of its kind ever confirmed rarity. Extreme condition. Near perfect, then came the auction. No one expected what happened next. The opening bid started strong. Within minutes, collectors were in a bidding war, and when the gavel finally dropped, $159,300 for a single penny. Chapter 4, How to Check Your 1991 Pennies. Think you might have one? Here's what to do. Look for the date, 1991. Check the mint mark. The under the year means it came from the Denver Mint. Flip to the reverse, look at America. If the A and M are spaced far apart, it's normal. If the A and M are very close, nearly touching, you may have the close AM rarity. Inspect condition, bright red. Little to nowhere. That's the money zone. Get it weighed and graded. Send it to a reputable service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Important, never clean a coin. It drops its value instantly. Chapter 5, Why it's worth $159,300. So what makes this tiny coin so valuable? Let's break it down. Rarity. Only a handful of these close AM 1991 D pennies have ever surfaced. Mint error. It was struck with the wrong reverse die, intended only for collector-proof sets. Condition. Mint state coins are exponentially more valuable. Demand. Die variety collectors paid top dollar for design anomalies. This wasn't just a penny, it was an accidental collector's masterpiece. Chapter 6. The viral discovery. When the story of the $159,300 penny hit the news, the internet exploded. Coin hunters on YouTube and TikTok launched challenges. People raided their piggy banks. Thousands of 1991 pennies were suddenly under scrutiny, because if one existed, maybe more did, and maybe, just maybe, the next one was waiting in someone's glove box. Or at the bottom of a forgotten jar. Chapter 7. Could you have one? That's the magic of coins like this. They don't sit in a museum under glass, they live in the world. They hide in plain sight. You don't need to be an expert to find one. You don't need a fortune to discover one. You just need to know what to look for. Check every 1991 penny. Flip it over. Look closely, because if the A and M are nearly touching, you might be holding a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Final word. In a world where pennies are overlooked, stepped on, discarded, one tiny coin stood tall. 0.1 cent. 1 minting error. 0.1 record-breaking sale. $159,300. This isn't just a story about money. It's a story about paying attention, because sometimes, the smallest details can bring the biggest rewards. And that penny in your hand, it might just be worth a fortune.